The Gauteng 2020 school online registration process kicked off at 8 a.m. this morning. The online applications proceeded after legal disputes caused a week's postponement. Well, applications for learners in grades 1 as well as 8 were abruptly stopped last Sunday. This following complaints from some organizations, including Afriforum, Onderwys Unie as well as the FEDSAS, about the new feeder zones and the language regulations in the province. Our reporter Mahlako Komane is out there. Let's cross live to hear essentially what the mood is on the ground. A very good morning to you, Mahlako. Essentially, what are people saying? For some people, it might be some excitement, but others, frustration.
Yes, indeed, we are still here in Deep Sloot, during for people that are here to do the 2020 Gauteng online applications, and we understand that it's almost over 100,000 people that have managed to access the system so far and have managed to apply online. Yes, some parents are definitely happy with the process. Well, the ones we've been here with are definitely happy. We know that they are getting help from department officials and other parents as well. When you see on social media as well expressing how they've managed to access the system quite successfully, and they have the 7 days to go and submit those necessary documents to the schools. It's quite important that parents actually access those 7 working days to submit those documents. But I have the MEC of Education, Mr. Lesufi, and he's just going to tell us so far it's been an hour into this, about an hour 10 minutes or so since the system went online. Have there been any challenges? He's just going to give us an update exactly where are they standing. Does he have numbers for us as yet? Mr. Lesufi, thank you so much for talking to us. MEC, can you just tell us, it's an hour 10 minutes or so that you've gone live. Can you tell us how are things looking like now? Do you have figures for us?
So far so good. We're breaking records. Last year by this time we had 100,000 applications. As I'm speaking to you now, we are sitting at 195,000. So we are almost double the amount that we had last year. There are still minor glitches there and there. I think because of the feeder zone system, the system it's map heavy. It's lots and lots of maps. Because of the heaviness of the maps, there might be delay there and there, or it might lock out people there and there. But we are quite thrilled that before even lunchtime, we are almost sitting at 200,000. So those parents that are still struggling or have limitation, I'll ask them and plead with them to continue trying until they get everything that they want.
We know obviously what the changes, MEC, that you've done in terms of the regulations. We know you've increased the radius from 5 to about 30. So obviously in your pressure areas, the system is already tight. I mean, it's quite tight. It's a race of time. Would you say, you're saying that within an hour you were sitting at 195, or right now you're sitting at 195. Are you saying that parents have heeded that call that, time is of the essence? You cannot wait to apply the day before the closing just because you stay next to the school?
Indeed, we're quite excited because if we have almost 195,000 thus far, it means they've heeded the call, they've responded to our issues. But we also recall that we postponed it with a week to accommodate demands of SGBs, and those demands, we had to alter the system there and there. So they're still getting in within the system, hence there might be some delays there and there. But we are quite thrilled. Our engineers and our technical teams are accommodating all those changes that the SGB gave us, especially the issue of the 30-kilometer radius, the home address, and all related matters. But to reach almost 200,000 is an exciting moment for us.
Do you have any idea how many spaces you have? How many are you expecting to apply? We know that it's a Gauteng as a whole is high pressured. Your education is in demand. What are you thinking you're going to be sitting at in terms of application? Will you also be trying to avoid the January rush that we saw this year? You had over 30,000 parents coming the day before school looking for spaces.
That's the reason why we've included 5 schools now, from 3 to 5, so that we give all parents an opportunity to choose the schools that they want. We really believe it will assist us to take off the January headache, because the January headache is people that say, I need one school only. If that school is full, they come during the month of January looking for an alternative school. So if we have 5, it might minimize the impact, and that's why we are so excited as the department.
Well, thank you, MEC, and good luck. You've heard there from the MEC telling us that he has around 195,000 parents so far having applied within an hour of the online registration going up, and also encouraging parents to choose more than one school to avoid a situation whereby if you don't get into your school, especially those high pressure areas. We know Tshwane is also quite high pressured going into the Sands in the Alexander area also, and Johannesburg South, one of the areas there where they experience quite the rush in terms of, in fact, quite the numbers in terms of parents looking for spaces at particular schools. Parents encouraged to apply, use up the 5 options of 5 different schools that parents can apply to, and obviously parents also cautioned that they can apply using both the work address and also the home address, to increase their chances of the schools that are within that proximity. We know that the radius has been shifted from 5 kilometers to 30 kilometers. Also the MEC just saying, because their system is quite map heavy, that parents to please exercise caution with the system should they find themselves being logged out, to please try again. It's back to you at studio.
Mahlako, before we cross back, have you been able to speak to any of the parents that are actually in the vicinity where you're at, just to sort of gauge what their experience has been this morning?
Yes, we have spoken to parents, and obviously they are getting help. The department is out here today. Some of them saying that it was quite fast for them. They didn't experience quite a lot of glitches, saying that they wanted to be on time to ensure that they get the schools that they want, because it does now, with the playing fields being leveled somewhat, it does become a time game. The sooner you can come and apply for your child, the greater the chances of you acquiring the school of your choices when you've met those necessary criteria, of distance. It was quite important, and also time. So it's parents expressing that they are quite happy, they've gotten the help that they've received, and it wasn't a hassle for them.
Thank you very much. Our reporter Mahlako Komane just taking us through the online registration.